I'm sitting on this chair. I don't know if you can see it. A few years ago, the vicar of this church, fingers and thumbs is what I would say, installed like a storytelling area. Well, the vicar is gone and the vandals have come a bit, but the chair is a bit like a throne. So it kind of suits the moment, at least here in this corner of England. Like some people's protocols would say that you can't say a whole lot about the Queen until the time of mourning is over, which will presumably be midnight on Monday. So Tuesday, normal services resume. So what I'm going to say, I'm keeping in mind to respect to the period. So as I've reflected over this past, since Thursday night last week, so what, 9 days? Depends how you count them, 8, 9. What I see as people collectively, not everybody, but as those who mourn, collectively express their sadness through flowers, through taking photographs or pictures of the Queen. It reminds me, as if you read my writing, a kind of religious feeling, a religious belief. For what I see is that it takes a person to believe in the Queen, to believe in the monarchy, to be upset or to feel the sadness of the monarch's passing. And I say that because unless, I think, at least speaking for myself, unless you have a personal connection with someone, will you feel a sadness? You can express a sympathy, but to feel a sadness is to feel a connection. And that does seem to be what people, as I say, a percentage of people are feeling at this time. And that causes me to reflect on my own religious experience and my belief in God. So if God died, I would be in a period of mourning because I have a personal connection with God. Of course, I don't believe God has died. Brings us on to the subject, what is God? Whatever God is, for me, there's a need to personalize it. And how I personalize it is through the person called in English Jesus. And of course, he did die. And then that reminds me that every year on Good Friday, I go to the cathedral in St. Albans and I spend 3 hours in the service remembering the death of Jesus in Jerusalem some 2,000 years ago. And then I remember how I feel at those moments. Somehow there's a connection, there's an opening, there's a psychological opening whereby it's almost like he has died. And in that I mourn. And I think in that mourning I bring all my griefs and fears, as a hymn says, to bear. And no doubt in the death of the Queen, the mourning that people feel is bringing out that human need to grieve, symbolized in the death of another. So I'm just observing what I see as a kind of religious experience going on in people queuing for 22 hours, people standing at a coffin with a dead body, and paying it homage. All these expressions of grief speak to me of a human religious need, albeit that it's not necessarily to do with a divinity or God. But then you could ask, what is a divinity and God? Best day.